smudgy. Goodwin kicks off. Friday night football underway. And Manly with a bungle. Tafua knocking on. And it's going to be a very, very interesting start for Canterbury. They'll get the loose head and feed. I was just looking at this camouflage jumper now that it's out on the strip. Thank goodness we're not in the middle of a drought. Can you imagine if this grass was brown, we'd never find them?
Well, it's working.
Yeah, I suppose so.
The biggest game young George Tafua has played in, and the ball dipped late on him. He was unable to get a grasp on it. And what about this? A scrum feed 20 metres in. The Bulldogs, what an attacking opportunity. They go the short side.
They do indeed, and they find Jonathan Wright. A play that I've seen work for them before. They're just inside the 10 in the opening seconds of the game, and going ahead is Tolman. He'll play the ball, and he'll play it towards centre ground. Eastwood's in the run-on side tonight. It went around Cassiano, and it's found Pritchard, but Pritchard is pulled down by Brett Stewart and also Cherry Evans. Here's Keating trying to evade the tackle of Brett Stewart. He's pulled down and he plays the ball for Michael Ennis to sweep it across to Cassiano, then to Reynolds, short to Hallertau, but he's well tackled by Liam Foran. And the ball played, and it comes back for the kick. And Canterbury, it's gone up there, and it's come down off Jamie Lyon to Cherry Evans. And that was a lucky piece of play for Manly. David Williams running it out now. Just outside the 10-metre line, up their own end of the park, Manly guarding the northern end in the opening 40. King is with it now, one of the Manly co-captains, Jason. Away now through 4, and it's gone on then to the second row forward, Harrison. So he'll play it on the 30-metre line. Watmo played in that test match last Friday night and plays it now on his own 40-metre line. So the kick from Foran was inside the 40, bounces down on the 10, and here is Turner, who had that splendid game last Sunday, and back now for Barber to bring it away. So Barber plays it inside his 10-metre line. Now for Goodwin. That's a good tackle, Jamie Lyon. Cuts him down. Third tackle will take them to the 20-metre line, Josh Morris. So Josh playing it outside 20. Now for Tolman. Running it at the head-geared Ballon. Matt Ballon playing, I think it's his 112th game in succession. Hasn't missed a game since 2007. Barber comes in from the back, shoves one away, gets inside enemy territory, got support coming. Reynolds it is, oh, he ran through the last line easily, and Barber's done it again. He is a little wizard, this fellow. Ben Barber, yes, he brushed a couple of soft defenders off, but he's gone a long, long way to score.
Oh, he beat everybody, Ben Barber. And I think Steve Maddai, a noted defender, is one of the players who miss early on. It was a nice set play, and then the fend. Barber gets rid of Steve Maddai and another. He's got plenty of support inside, outside. He comes to the last line of defence, throws a dummy, scores. Great try.
Can he fight? Well, that's his 23rd try, Ben, in 29 appearances here at ANZ Stadium. So he likes the home track, doesn't he? They talk about horses for courses. Now Steve Turner, 10 in from touch on its way, going across the face. So 4-0 remains the score. Andrew John's sideline tonight.
Yeah, there he is, one of the true entertainers of our game. Have a look at this when he gets in the clear. So well balanced on the Kuno replay. Sums it up. Right foot step. The crowd loves it. They enjoy it. Not as much as Ben Barber. Look at this smile. How good's that to see? Well done, Benny Barber.
We talk about strike rates, Ray, when it comes to try scoring. And, Brett Stewart features. I don't think I've seen anyone score tries from their own half more often than Ben Barber. He doesn't score many that only at 10 or 15 metres. They're more 60 and 65 metres at least.
It's a very good point you make. It probably brings some memories to me back of Brett Mullins. He used to score some long-distance tries, but nothing like this fellow, Ben Barber. He is just the complete entertainer. Here's Canterbury then with a 4-0 lead early on, and Cassiano giving it short down to Eastwood in the run-on side tonight, and David Stagg will come off the bench, and Ennis fires a kick away. It's going down into the in goal, and it should go dead. It's not going to. Brett Stewart brings it back. Tafua falls in behind, and Matai now goes to dummy half.
And there's the perfect illustration from the Bulldogs as to how to back up points. Kick on the fourth, get it in goal and chase.
Played then by Tafua, and Cherry Evans goes away to David Williams. Williams to play it just outside the 20-metre line. They played twice last year. Both times the Eagles got the chocolates. One of those wins was almost a massacre. But Manly, of course, were hot, and they had all of their players in the side. Cherry Evans gets a sloppy ball, but he kicks it away down to Barber coming outside 20. And that's Ballon. He and Cherry Evans played all games last year. And as I mentioned earlier, Ballon is now up to 112 in succession. Turner, good run, solid tackle, just outside the 30-metre line. Harrison is the redhead, playing in the second row. Now the penalty comes off the whistle of Brett Sutter. And he's now improved the mark. So somebody's had a little bit of a back chat at him. It might have been Matai. And it's not going to win the argument.
Yeah. Well, Michael Ennis really tried to take a quick tap here, and there should be more of this in the game allowed. If the referee's going to march a team 10 metres for dissent, then he's got to be alive to the fact that someone could take a quick tap and take advantage of their good fortune. And Michael Ennis did there. He was into the backfield with support, and it was a try to the Bulldogs, but the referee slowed them up and pulled them back.
So the tap is taken by Wright, and that is Tolman. So Aidan Tolman playing the ball, 25 metres away from the line. It's come away to Keating, and there's Pritchard putting on a little left foot step. Pritchard to play the ball. He's only 15 metres away from Manly's line. Ennis goes to Cassiano. And he's come up without the football. Penalty, Canterbury. Right in front of the sticks. It's a presentation or an invitation for two if you want it. Reynolds is saying, let's keep going.
Yeah, play on. They're on fire, the Bulldogs, at the moment.
Ennis takes the tap, and it was a bit of hesitation before it found Eastwood. Now they're 3 metres away. And Ennis goes on, and it goes out to Tolman, and Tolman is pulled down.
I'll try and put Frank Pritchard on Daly Cherry Evans at some stage.
Well, here comes Ennis away to Cassiano. The run around and back to Keating now. Keating is able to get away from one. That of Glenn Stewart the first time, but not the second. Ball to be played 5 away from the line. Cassiano goes short to Tolman. Tolman can't breach the defence. Pulled down by Harrison. Now from Ennis, it's gone to Reynolds, and Reynolds away to Barber, and Barber goes on to Turner. Turner puts a fend on Tafua, but Tafua takes him into touch. So Manly have defended their line well.
Yeah, just let me go back to that quick tap that Michael Ennis tried to take earlier, as we see Turner trying to get on the outside of his man, but he's muscled in goal. There should be more of it in the game, allowing the attacking team, or the team that's been awarded the penalty, to play on as soon as possible. Holding the game up for an innocuous caution, or because the referee feels as though that the game's going too quick, is ridiculous. Ennis was off for the prize there. Here's the penalty. The referee will blow it. Then he'll march them 10 metres, and Ennis says, well, beauty. Now, while Manly's got their back tapped, Ennis will come up, take the tap, and he's off and going. Caught the referee by surprise. He'll hold the game up. He's got to be alert to what the opposition want to do with it, or to what the team with the ball wants to do with it.
Jason King, and the ball comes out, and they got no advantage from it, Canterbury, but they will get the loose head and feed. 30 metres away from the Manly line.
Do you agree, Rabbits, or not?
Yeah, of course I agree. Of course I agree. It's not even debatable.
Let's go, guys.
It's no different than running the ball quickly out from your own in goal for a 20-metre restart. If the officials are in position, then it's okay to play on. Why is it any different up there?
Well, if you want to encourage attacking football, if you want teams to be a little bit creative, there's one aspect where you could open up the game. It was always great for me to see an Alan Langer or a Laurie Daly race in and take the quick tap and keep playing on.
Here's Josh Morris now, just inside the 30-metre line. He's picked up, and the referee's call held when one of the legs is lifted off the ground, played by Morris, and Keating have done a half, back to Pritchard, and Frank will be told to play the ball just outside the 20-metre line. So Michael Ennis, as I said, he's the incumbent New South Wales hooker. It's Hallertau with the ball. And on the back of Farah's big effort last Sunday, and of course with Badira seemingly having the job, Michael's under enormous pressure tonight. Here's Morris floating the ball out, hesitatingly, albeit, and that is Goodwin with the ball.
Well, Ennis not only the incumbent, he played all 3 games last season.
And he's also the forgotten man, really, isn't he? It's Keating now with the ball. He's 5 metres away, and this is the last tackle for the blue and whites. Ennis's kick out of dummy half is good, and he took that ball, I thought, in the field of play, but he's left the in goal to do that, and Shane Hayne is indicating a 20-metre restart. And the officials were in position, and away they go, Manly, outside the 30-metre line.
Well, there's your quick tap.
So Manly with Williams over to the 40-metre line now.
They've been under intense pressure here, the Manly Sea Eagles. It's still only 4-0, so I guess if they can be next to score, they'll feel as though they've dodged a real bullet there in the opening period. Great start by the Dogs.
This is Foran, just his 6th game in the top level. The elder brother by 2 years of Kieran. Was at Melbourne for a couple of years. This is his 2nd year at Manly. And Brent Kite throws a forward pass to Harrison, but it's been allowed to go. And Harrison will play the ball. 35 metres out on the last. Cherry Evans puts it down towards Barber. Cherry Evans, of course, getting no time in the test match last Friday. And now the little number 1 will play the ball 15 out from his own line.
And Liam Foran tonight gives Manly a kicking option down that left-hand side. He's got a very nice left foot kick down into that corner and strong defensively on that left fringe. Goodwin takes it 25 out from his own line. Then Stewart and Brett Kite combine to make the tackle. Feathers follows it up with a strong charge.
So 4-0 in favour of Canterbury. Manly, 1 win in their last 5, and they're up to the halfway, the Dogs. Being played by Pritchard, who had an inquiring look at the referee. Reynolds, it is, puts it down the ground, and it's with Stewart. Brett and Glenn both in this game tonight. And here comes this prolific try scorer from the back for Manly. He'll play the ball inside 20, and Cherry Evans again finding himself a dummy half, and Williams runs it away. Harrison again. By the way, our special guest at half-time will be James Magnuson, the 100-metre world champion. And the fastest man in water without the aid of the suit, without the aid of that, he's the fastest man in the world, and he's getting ready for London and the 100-metre freestyle. Peter will talk to him at half-time. Oh, Jason King ran into a shoulder from Eastwood and Tolman.
4 gold medals you'll get, Rabbits. 4 is my tip.
You're very optimistic. Here's the kick by Cherry Evans. And it's going down to Goodwin, and Goodwin is hammered by Manly. 12 metres out from his own line. You're talking about 2 relays, the 50 and the 100, aren't you? Here's Morris with the ball now.
He'll win whatever they put him in.
Okay. Well, we might enter him for the Davis Cup next year. Played by Morris. It's gone away to Turner now. Turner to play it. Apparently James follows the Dogs. It's a beautiful story. He comes from Port Macquarie, Magnuson, and when beaten in a grand final, he was so disappointed and dejected, he went away from rugby league to start swimming. There is Keating with the ball now.
That's great, Ray. I don't know what I'll talk to him about now at half-time, but you've got me back in one fell swoop.
Didn't need to do that. Here's Barber, and Barber gets the ball away. I thought that might have gone forward as well, and that's been called. We've had a pretty good line on the last two, what I thought were forward passes. I don't normally buy into it too much until we have a look at the replay, but that was forward.
He wanted to kick there, Barber, but he saw a little half gap, and it's like a magnet to him. He can't resist. He knew he had to kick, but he just knew he had to run too, because they presented an opportunity.
So it's still 4-0, 15 and a half minutes gone in the game. That's Kite, just inside the 30-metre line. Ball to be played back to Matt Ballin. And it comes right side for Jerry Evans to Glenn Stewart. He held it up, had the defence guessing the kick was good. It's on the ground, there's a goal. They bumped each other out of the road, have they? Well, I don't know what's happened here. Jamie Lyon or Brett Stewart. It's a bracket selection, take your pick.
Oh, they've knocked each other down, Rabbits. I think they've knocked each other down.
For the first time tonight, we go upstairs.
Well, the kick was a beauty from Jamie Lyon, and it put plenty of pressure on Bryson Goodwin. David Williams, yep, he's fine. Now, the only play, actually, Brett Stewart, I think, was in front. If we go back and have a look at maybe another replay, the number one for Man, I think, was in front of the kicker.
Yeah, but I think Lyon gets in front of him eventually, doesn't he? And they come at the ball together. Let's have a look.
No.
Oh, they've knocked each other out of the way. They've spilled their lollies, Rabbits.
It's a triple, quadruple knock on.
They've knocked each other out of play.
And then along came Glenn Stewart thinking, well, there's still a chance here. So, in fact, it was almost a triple dead heat. But it's none of those. It's no tries. It's a knock-on against Manly, as you saw centimetres from the line.
What about that? It was just so simple. Lovely little kick from Jamie Lyon in behind. Williams forces the error. And here it is. One of them's just got to pick it up and put it over the line. And they knock each other out of the way.
Wait, guys.
Dear, oh dear.
Josh Morris then for Canterbury. Tackled on his own 10-metre line. Jamie Lyon and Brett Stewart. A breakdown in communication from two of the game's big stars. In fact, all Manly's big stars were involved, with Glenn Stewart as well getting involved. So play by Graham, who's on now, and this is Tolman on the 30-metre line. Corey Payne gets a look at the action, and Dean Hallertau to play it.
I'm loving the way these Bulldogs forwards pass the ball to each other on the advantage line. It's become very effective, and I'll tell you how effective it's become. More and more teams will start to copy it.
Brett Stewart taken by Jonathan Wright.
Des Hasler has these Bulldog forwards pumping the ball along the advantage line, testing the opposition defence on every play.
Well, when Jonathan Wright takes Brett Stewart, he goes up around the shoulders, and that's what happened. There's an accidental arm from Michael Ennis.
There's nothing wrong with that. Brett Stewart was falling, but nothing from the tackler that was illegal.
No, Jonathan Wright did nothing wrong at all. And there's accidental contact with the arm of Michael Ennis. There's no doubt about that.
Going back to that missed try from Manly, you haven't got time just to have a look and see who's around. If you see a ball rolling around the try line, you get there as quick as you can and do your best. Unfortunately, it ended up being a battle between two players from the same side. As Brett Stewart is up, plays it. Harrison takes it forward.
Ballin, and then Whitemoe, and then King, and now Cherry Evans. And he's got Josh Morris clutching at him. Eventually he's got him. And Cherry Evans to play the ball. So here's Whitemoe now. Across to Kite. And Kite gets it away to Harrison. Harrison puts it out the back through Ballin. It's gone on to 4 and 4 into Matai. Matai gets it on. Tafua's with the ball. And George Tafua close to the sideline. got the ball. Well, it's actually finished up with Turner for Canterbury. So Steve Turner plays it inside the 20. And that's Tolman. And the other polar bear, Graham, has got the ball now. So Graham, the Englishman, plays the ball. Corey Payne drives it hard up the middle. And he's met by strong defence from Glenn Stewart. And he might have just had a little bit more time than he was entitled to, Glenn. But here's Josh Morris just into Manly's area. Now to Pritchard. And Pritchard just held on to the ball. Watmo went up and took a player that was running a decoy. Now, down is Corey Payne. He was tackled solidly and he hasn't been able to recover. Not at this stage. Keating's kick taken by Stewart. And Stewart taken in a missile-like tackle by Goodwin. This is Williams. So Williams, he's having trouble getting up. He sinks to the ground after playing the ball. Tafua runs it outside the 20-metre line.
Yeah, he got hurt earlier in that no-try incident up the other end, because I've seen him limping around for a while. When he ran that ball in field, he got up very ginger. He mightn't be long for this game, Williams. He's trying to walk it off.
Played by Matai. And here's George Rose. And Rose is about 8 metres from halfway. Last tackle with Cherry Evans. Dropping it onto the right foot. Sending it down to Barber. Barber coming out of the deep now. Coming out of the corner. Goodwin taken down by 3 in the Manly defence. Watmo, Foran and Ballon. And now Steve Turner will play the ball just outside the 20-metre line. Ennis then going away to Jonathan Wright, and Harrison is around the legs to make the tackle. Turner again. So the outside backs are doing a good job to clear the red zone for Canterbury. Reynolds puts a kick down the ground, and that is going to stop about 7 metres out from the line for Brett Stewart. Reynolds leading the chase or the hunt together with Halatau.
That's brilliant from Reynolds. He's all footballer, isn't he? Well, I don't know if that's his right position, but he makes a contribution no matter what jersey he wears.
Stewart. Andrew on the sideline.
Yeah, David Williams has got a cork just above the knee. He should be able to run it out. The problem will come at half-time when he cools down, so that'll be the problem.
Cherry Evans now playing the ball on the Manly 30-metre line. George Rose hasn't seen a lot of first grade this year. And he was a permanent member of the 17 last year. And it's good to see him back out there tonight because he's one of the characters of the game. Here's Barber.
I think it's his first run, Big George, in the top grade this year as Frank Pritchard gets a breather. Goodwin, the winger, takes it over his own 30.
These new Manly jerseys were made for George's Gorge. Jersey comes up with you. They're just made for him.
Morris. It's Corey Payne. He seemingly has recovered.
Keeping the ball alive from his throw out the back as well. Jonathan Wright well contained there by Steve Matai. Drove him sideways.
That's Graham with the ball now. You've got to be so careful. Better say it when you can't see the numbers, when you're calling Graham and Tolman. Now Williams. And Williams hits the accelerator when he comes to the defence line. So he's being brave, isn't he?
That short passing rate from Canterbury, it's making it very difficult for Manly to get any gang tackles as Tafua loses the football. A mistake for the young man. And some more pressure on, and 3 in the tackle there, and Josh Reynolds had the hand up around the football, but out it came, and everything's okay.
Well, it's such a change for the Bulldogs side, Peter, who over the last few years got very little passing out of their forwards. Des Hasler has come in, and he's put more passing into this forward pack than any team in the competition, to be honest. And I think it looks really effective. I like it. I don't know how long it'll last, but I really like it.
So here's a A nice opportunity for Canterbury. Graham fires it back to Barber. And Ben Barber just outside the 20-metre line. Plays the ball, and David Stagg is out there now. Stagg, 12 out, middle of the ground. Ennis, Keating, Morris. Good tackle, Jamie Lyon. Puts an end to Josh Morris's aspirations for his half-century of tries. Graham sweeps it across. Reynolds puts in a nice kick, and there's a chance here for Canterbury. Oh, the bounce of the ball. Steve Turner was there half an hour before it arrived, and then the bounce of the rugby league ball has beaten everybody.
Well, that's the best bit of good fortune that George Toovey has had tonight. In fact, probably the only. The fact that it bounced away from Steve Turner it was a planned move. They set it up perfectly. They just didn't get the bounce.
So 24 minutes into the game, and 4-0 in favour of Canterbury. They could have been into wider space right there, but then again Manly should have put a try together themselves about 7 or 8 minutes back in the game. Cherry Evans put down by Tolman. Some help there from Payne. Played by the youngster, and Lyon stabs it down to the try line, and Ben Barber returns serve, and he's taken in the middle of the ground by Foran for one, and Ballon for another, who looks remarkably with that headband on, a bit like Wayne Pearce. 10 metres out from his own line. Oh, hang on, that might have got some help. It did. And Shane Hayne penalises Canterbury. Penalises Manly, I should say. Favouritism goes to Canterbury. And here it is. There's Foran having a good reef at it. Toyota Cup tonight. The Bulldogs and the Sea Eagles played a 28-all draw. And speaking of Toyota, they're inviting you to test drive the amazing new Toyota Camry this weekend during their Camry Expo test drive event. Just by test driving the new Toyota Camry, you can go into the draw to win 3 Camrys. Some of them hybrid, I think. So get down to your local Toyota dealership and test drive a Camry this weekend. Beautiful new one in the car park tonight, the Channel 9 car park. Somebody's driving one.
Well, I've got one, but it's not the brand new one. They're great cars, and they make driving fun. As Josh Reynolds throws the dummy, it's not fallen for.
So Reynolds...
I might take the new one home, but if I get a chance.
Reynolds 42 metres out from the Manly line. Ennis working with the football. Now David Stagg. They make a lovely vehicle, there's no doubt about that. Here's Graham. 25 away. 5th tackle for the kick. Reynolds down in towards Tafur again. And up he goes, George, and this time he's safe. They have absolutely bombarded him during the first quarter of this game. And you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know they're going to keep doing it all night long. Matai on his own 20-metre line. Rose. Head on into Graham. Payne underneath. Ennis a piece of it. Foran. If you joined us late, not Kieran. This is his elder brother, Liam. Here's Turner.
Array inferior sides in the competition would be a lot further behind than 4 points as Kieran Foran tries to get the team going from the sidelines alongside Tony Williams. Their completion rate 8 from 13. They haven't had as much football as the Dogs, who are excellent, 14 from 16. This is a little bit like Melbourne like. They're on the back foot. The other team is well on top, but there's only 4 in it. That keeps them well in the game, obviously.
Morris now. Just on their own side of halfway, the Dogs. Through Ennis. On it goes to Reynolds. He's doing a wonderful job in the 6, isn't he, Reynolds? Ennis jumps out from dummy half and plugs one down to Williams.
He's a real little footballer, Reynolds. I just got through saying that, but you've got to admire the fact that He plays out of position, but plays it so passionately. Some players, you move them away from their favourite spot and they'll spit the dummy or won't be able to apply themselves. But this kid, he just said, give me a jersey, I don't care what number, and I'll contribute.
Joe is on, as in Malaval. Watmo, Rose. Centre of the ground on the 40-metre line, his own 40. Watmo, dodging, getting it away to Foran onto Buehrer. He did well. Malaval again, over halfway, steps out of a would-be tackle by Halatau. So the last for Manly, Foran, and driving it down, and Barber doesn't want to take any chances. So grabs it on the try line and brings it. Oh, he's almost away. Foran eventually pulled him down. Here's Turner with a quick run from dummy half. He's doing some brilliant work out there, Steve Turner, tonight. Now, Goodwin. He's really earned his paycheck tonight, Steve Turner. He's been very, very busy.
And again, he took advantage of great work from Ben Barber, who was able to step through tackles and get a quick play of the ball going. They're not your usual NRL side that have a big back three in stature. They're two of the little men, but they're working very well and in good kicking position now.
Graham. Here's Reynolds. He rakes it back across the ground towards Williams. And Williams comes away beyond the 20, but Josh Morris has got him, and David Stagg comes over the top to complete it. Down on their own 30-metre line with Cherry Evans clearing that area, but he's run into the shoulder. And it's Williams who goes away with it. He'll tell him to go back and play the ball, I think.
Well, 2 or 3 times tonight, Daly Cherry Evans, he's had no options. He's had nobody working off him. They're all a bit at sea at the moment with the football, and they haven't had that much of it. And he's been left posted a few times. Lotmo now throws the dummy, can't get through defenders, but takes it over the halfway.
I think they're up for the fight here, Manly, aren't they? They're really hanging in tough.
Buehrer.
And you get the feeling if they can just get a bit of ball, they might keep coming.
And Foran has driven it down. It'll go dead. So it'll come back to the 20 for the restart. Yeah, they're playing it really tight. They're two of our better sides. I think most people have got them finishing in the top 8. Could they be our grand finalists? The coaches, of course, best remember the last time they were the grand finalists. 1995, Hasler and Toovey were in the side for Manly. Beaten by Canterbury that year. And then Des and Geoff went on to 96 together when Manly did the lap of honour. Toovey and Hasler, 9 years they played together. Here's Barber, pushing away. Benefit of the doubt probably to the Canterbury side for the pass. Turner played it. Reynolds dodging, weaving. Graham, Keating to Stagg. Stagg a long torpedo ball out to Goodwin. Drops it on the left foot. Stewart goes back. He's back and he's in goal. They're coming after him. Josh Morris couldn't make it in time. And Ennis and Goodwin complete the tackle. Tafua. 12 out from his line.
Well, it's quite absorbing. It's physical, it's tough. There's a stack of ball movement. You sense there's a half chance coming at any moment, yet we've only had the 1 try scored.
Williams.
Something's got to give. They can't keep going like this without points.
Malaval. Inside the 40-metre line, his own end of the ground. So the last for Cherry Evans. And from inside the 40, he kicks it. But it bounces friendly for Barber. Tolman comes off. Going back into action is Cassiano in jumper number 10. Barber got the first try at the 4th minute. You had something on first try scorer. Played by Hallertau, Payne, short, Graham back, bad ball. Barber's with it on the bounce, and Barber will play the ball. So it's been 30 minutes since we've had points in the game. Morris. Jamie Lyon making the tackle and told to get up quickly. Keating, Payne, knocked forward by Williams. Chance for David. But he's rounded up and taken by Josh Morris. Played by David Williams. Canterbury's defence a little bit raggedy at the moment because of the intercept from Williams. Stewart has taken offside Canterbury.
Okay, this could be the break that Manly's been looking for. The penalties were 3-1 against them, or 3-0 against them up until this one. It's their first penalty of the game, and really their first opportunity to start a set of 6 deep inside Bulldogs half. Bulldogs are yet to have to defend their own goal line. Let's see how they handle a bit of pressure.
So forward it is, going to the right side, over to George Rose. And Rose playing it now with the uprights, 15 away. And here's Nullival trying to crack through Canterbury. He plays it quickly, and he didn't face goal. He might get penalised. Yes, he did. Did he? Now it's gone to Manly.
Push from you. He didn't play it square.
Right.
There's the explanation. That's why Joe was facing these quests.
Why did they not play advantage for a moment? Just why did the whistle go at that point? Manly was still on the attack there.
Here's Watmough with it now. He'll play it about 5 metres out from the line. And played back to Ballon. Ballon to Cherry Evans. Then Glenn Stewart. Now Jamie Lyon. Again to Glenn Stewart. Has a look at them. Goes back to his brother Brett. And Brett tries to go through. But he's pulled down so close, as you can see. Played by Brett Stewart. Then for Ballon. Ballon on to Foran. Foran on to Bura. Bura's taken down. Tackled by Hallertau and Ennis. And now from Ballon to Cherry Evans, Glenn Stewart. That's brilliant defence by Canterbury. That time it was Cassiano and Keating. Now Cherry Evans, a little fumble. He shovels it down. It might have been knocked on by Brett Stewart. So turnover has been ordered.
Well, there's some great defence in there, especially from David Stagg, who was injured a couple of tackles ago, but still got in line, despite the fact he was busted. They put plenty of pressure last tackle on Daly Cherry Evans. Wasn't a great option to come back that side on the last. The Dogs have survived, with Cassiano taking it forward. Oh, that's gone close to being forward from Ennis, but called back.
Ennis playing the ball inside the 20-metre line. Here's Graham. Canterbury rucking it away. And Cassiano lumbers it up towards the 40-metre line. Giant of a man.
Oh, he's a big thing.
Hallertau with a juggle. Just got it back in time before the framework of George Rose embraced him. Reynolds gets a kick down towards the sideline, and it goes over that line about 12 metres out. A break, and we're back to ANZ in a moment. Back at ANZ Stadium, Friday night football, Bundaberg Friday night football, to be precise. Manly with the ball, Canterbury with the points. Nullival, Canterbury 4, Manly yet to score. Manly missed an opportunity, but then Canterbury did too. This is Bura on his own 40-metre line. And then Rose acting as a pivot, then Nullival out to Glenn Stewart, onto Brett Stewart. He joins in out wide, but Josh Morris has been blocking this left side and blocking it well. Here's Glenn Stewart now. To the Canterbury 40-metre line, he goes short to Watmough. Watmough gets it to Foran. Reynolds picks him up in defence. Played by Liam Foran. Now it's gone away. Cherry Evans Reynolds got an ankle tap on him, and that's been ruled as changeover. Well, this little bloke that won't stop Reynolds has brought about the turnover.
Oh, he's a hustler. He got back there to make the cover defending tackle, then sprinted out from marker, effort on effort, and watch this. Catches the back leg of Daly Cherry Evans before he kicks and forces the turnover. He's had a mighty game, Josh Reynolds.
Cassiano. He's lost the ball.
Whoops.
In the worst possible circumstances. Close to the Canterbury line. The time is on Canterbury's side, really. 55 seconds to go, or 50 seconds left in this first half, played by Cherry Evans. Away and through forward. It's found Buehrer, and Buehrer will play the ball. Manly now, with about 35 seconds, they get a penalty. That's interfering with the man playing the ball against the marker.
I'll tell you later. I'll tell you later.
Michael Ennis just trying to slow things down by asking a question. Sutor said, I'll tell you later. Manly said, we'll take a kick at goal anyway, so you can tell him now. Be interesting to see if Michael comes up and asks the question now. And in fact, he's going to do that.
Jamie, my answer not good enough, Michael. Time out. I don't need you right now. In a second. Jamie, I need you. I'll talk to you. I know you're just asking. Mate, and you're entitled to ask the question. But if every single second of the game that you get the opportunity to come with me, we're just going to start brushing you and you'll get aggro. Mate, come to us, ask a question, we'll answer, but not every single second. Michael.
So I got a question for you. Yeah, it was an interesting penalty with that little time left on.
You stand your ground. Back another couple of steps, boys.
Because it actually interrupted the flow that Manly had. And now it's an interesting decision to take the 2 points, even though they're behind on the scoreboard. I guess they feel, well, we may as well get something before we go back to the sheds.
And that's what they've done.
1, 2.
Off the boot of their captain, Jamie Lyon.
That's it, mate.
We've got an interesting scoreboard. It's a rare scoreboard, really. 4-2 in favour of Canterbury.
You've got to think about what you're suggesting.
Referee and Manly captain still talking.
Think about what you're suggesting.
Still chewing the fat. 4-2 the Dogs over the Eagles at halftime. Next in Toyota halftime, Peter Sterling will be joined by our very special guest, world champion and Olympic gold medal favourite for the 100, James Magnussen. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Friday Night Football on your official broadcaster of the London Olympic Games, Channel 9. Missed a game since 2007. Barber comes in from the back, shoves one away, gets inside enemy territory, got support coming. Reynolds it is. Oh, he ran through the last line easily, and Barber's done it again.
The only try, as we saw in the first half, a tight match with plenty of feeling. The Bulldogs, 4 points to 2 in front of the Seagulls, and not only in front on the scoreboard, but statistically as well. 17-10, tackling opposition 20. That was 17-0 until late in that first half. But the time in possession is the big one. 55% for the Bulldogs, 45% for the Seagulls. Probably says the Bulldogs should lead by a little bit more, so Manly will get some confidence out of that. Now, as Ray mentioned, I'm not only joined by one superstar in Brad Fittler, but along with Sally Pearson, you would think our best chance in the London Olympics, under 100 days away. Swimmer James Magnussen joins us as well. James, it's a pleasure to sit next to you. Now, let's get the serious stuff out of the way first. You're a Port Macquarie boy, but you're a Bulldogs fan. How did that come about?
Yeah, that's right. My father grew up in the Bulldogs area and played a bit of juniors for the Bulldogs. So he brainwashed me from a very young age, and I've been following them since I can remember.
Now, you were a strapping second rower until fairly late. Under 18s, you played in a grand final. Rabbits had you kicking stones after getting beat in the grand final and threw the rugby league career out and took in the swimming. Is that right?
There is a little bit of truth to that. I did play rugby league and was a second rower, and I did give up after a grand final loss one year. I just decided there was too much dependence on the rest of the team, and I wanted to control the outcome, so I went to an individual sport.
All right, you keep that microphone there so I can hear you. What did you make of the first 40 minutes out here?
Look, I think the Bulldogs are playing well. I think Manly are a little off their game tonight. The Bulldogs look strong up the middle off the back of Sam Cassiano and Frank Pritchard. I guess in the backs, Ben Barber looks the most likely, but they are lacking a little bit of direction when they go wide.
Oh, hang on, he's after our job, Freddie. and might have just got it as well. What did you think we saw in the first 40?
Mate, I saw two really committed sides. There's a few errors from some inexperienced players out there. Outside that, I thought both defences worked extremely hard for each other. The Ben Barber try was just a piece of brilliance from Benny Barber that we see every week these days. Look at that nice show and go. Got inside Maddie, palms off foreign, gets down to the fullback Brett Stewart. What's he thinking? There's that Joshy Reynolds to the line and takes Brett Stewart to town.
Yeah, beat three really good defenders there. Started with Steve Maddie, Liam Foran and Brett Stewart at the end. Now, this was very, very close for Manly. They'll think they should have scored. In fact, it was two of their experienced players who got in each other's way in Brett Stewart and Jamie Lyon. So they did very well there, Canterbury, to survive that. And this was the late penalty, getting Manly on the board in the opening half there to give us that 4-2 scoreline. So it is obviously anybody's game coming into this second half. Your preparation, James, I read recently, as pointed out, the games are coming around very quickly. I think July 28th. That is under 100 days. How is that going? You had a little bit of a setback of late?
Yeah, a little bit of a glitch. I had a little bit of sickness over the last week, but feeling better now and getting my strength back. Preparation's going really well. We're going into the Olympics as favourite this year, which is something I'm not used to, but I feel like I'm handling it quite well and you know, champing at the bit to get over there and do my thing.
James, there's talk of 4 gold medals. That's what we all want 4. We won't accept anything less than 4. 2 of those are relays. Given you come from a footy background, what importance do you place on the team swims?
Yeah, it is something the football gave me that I'm really glad of is that team spirit. And I really do enjoy those team events and the relays. And it's great for Australia that they can get behind a team rather than an individual. I think we've got a pretty good chance in those relays, but again, I can't control that outcome on my own. So first and foremost, I want to control my own destiny in that 100 freestyle.
Yeah. Well, exciting times coming up. We really thank you for being a part of our coverage here today. The whole of Australia is behind you, and if you do your best, that'll be good enough for us. With any luck, it'll be a very successful.
That might be for Sterlo, not for Freddie. All right.
And good luck with the doggies out here in the second half. And if I could have a nickname, it would be the Missile. Let's get an update from Glenn Munsey to find out what's happening on TAB Sportsbet.
Well, an absorbing game of rugby league here at ANZ Stadium tonight, with Jamie Lyon and his team Manly trailing by 2. It's not often you see a scoreboard like that in the modern day. 4-2 in favour of Canterbury as Manly make their way back out. They've won 8 premierships. The Eagles, the defending premiers this year. The first renovated rooms, by the way, will be revealed on a new day, new time. Sunday, 6:30. Who will deliver the best room? That's the question. Fight out on the block. Sunday, 6:30 on 9. Yeah, 8 premierships Manly and 8 premierships Canterbury. Canterbury 4 times in the 80s, Manly 4 times in the 70s. I was talking about Des and Geoff and the fact they played side by side for 9 years. They won a grand final in '96 together, and that was to be their last match together in the maroon and white. They parted company. Geoff Toovey played on with Manly. Des went to Western Suburbs for his final year at the top level. Gave good service to Manly, about 250 games, played with Penrith, played with West, and a great competitor, Peter. Nobody would be better versed to comment on that than you.
I didn't play against a better one, Ray. First minute, 80th minute, he was still going flat out and giving his all. And Gus, I'm keen to get your opinion of 4-2 at half-time after what we've seen. Who's feeling better about themselves at the moment?
Manly. I'll be very, very happy with the score at the moment, and the Bulldogs, for all their ball movement, frustrated.
He's just waiting for the all right, ready, guys? Just waiting for the cue.
Downside!
Manly starts the second half off the boot of Cherry Evans. Down to Barber it goes. Now Payne. Corey Payne appealing to the referee for some help and some aid. It's Graham Works it away. David Stagg. 30 away from his line. And again, Corey Payne, well, I was just going to say he's a real Bulldog, isn't he? Well, he does. He typifies the work of a faithful Bulldog. Head down, backside up, Tafua with the ball now.
Yeah, miss hit there from Michael Ennis. I don't think he was aided by Sam Cassiano being just on his outside, but higher than it did long. It's man in good position on just the second tackle.
Watmo playing it on his 40-metre line. Cherry Evans sweeps it away. Stewart, Glenn, got rid of Keating. And they huddle over the top of him. Ennis and Stagg, making him play the ball. Nullavow, tackled by Corey Payne. Here's Watmo. Stagg and Ennis again. Now the last. And Cherry Evans goes high. Barber's got a long way to run. He's let it bounce. Maddai's got a chance here. Barber saved them though.
Oh.
Barber has eventually saved them and been forced in goal.
What about the bounces there? Benny Barber was never ever going to attempt this. He got his hands out of the way and said, well, if I go for that, it'll drop. Then it heads towards the in goal. Who's that hustling back? It's the 4,
yeah,
Jonathan Wright.
Yeah.
And the ball bounces over his head. There were Manly players everywhere, and the man to come up with it was little Benny Barber. Could have easily been a try.
Yeah, well, Steve Turner missed out on a bounce earlier tonight from a Josh Reynolds kick. They got one there. There's a poor restart on the ground from Chris Keating. I'm sure he drop kicked it in the end, but only get it back inside the 40.
Rose takes it back, and who's there to meet him? Corey Payne. I reckon I've called his name 6 times in the last couple of minutes. He's really highly involved. Rose tried to get between Graham and Ennis. George plays the ball 10 metres away. Foreign away to Brett Stewart. He double pumps it, breaks away over the line, and he goes in to score. Brett Stewart, brilliant individual performance. The Manly #1 has scored to take them to the lead.
Oh, some players, they just get over the line. In the end, I think the Canterbury defender here throws him over. The dummy, Reynolds falls off the top. He's grabbed around the legs by Dean Hallertau. He swivels around, scores. Manly in front.
Well, that's his 116th try in what is proving to be a glorious career. Unfortunately punctuated by injury. 116 tries, and this is his 144th game. Jamie Ryan to convert. He's hooked it. So it's 6-4 in favour of the Eagles now. They enjoy the lead that Canterbury had on resumption.
This is a tough football team, Manly. On the Keno replay, I mean, this is how they eventually get their points, but they've just been through 40 minutes of hell. The Bulldogs have thrown absolutely everything at them. They have refused to yield, shown great resolve, held it to 4-2 at the break, and now are first to score in the second half. This is a mighty football team, I'm telling you. Great constitution.
Rose.
Well, that conversion was being lined up. Joe Nullavow was interchanged by Manly, and he was particularly unimpressed. He did not want to go back to Ballon does.
Allen pulled down by John Wright. So from Buera, Foreign, King. Isn't it noticeable when you bring the good sides together how mouth-watering September is going to be? Here's Barber letting it go.
It's an interesting decision to interchange a forward like Joe Nullavow when they'd only been out there 3 minutes. And there's the try, so there's very little play. So why does he go out for 2 or 3 minutes and then get replaced? Why isn't he replaced at half-time if the coach has got a different tact? You know, it's not right for the player to get filthy on it. You want him to be annoyed, but It's an interesting interchange by the coach at that stage.
Andrew.
Yeah, we all know Joe Nullivale. He's one of the nice guys of the rugby league, but he was absolutely livid being replaced in after 3 minutes. But look at the positive, I suppose. It goes to show how much Manly want this game.
Cassiano with a little bobble, able to get it out the back, and Turner's there. Oh, Corey Payne has been smashed by Glenn Stewart.
Shot! Get that in there!
Watmo. Now Brett Stewart again, taunting them in the back line. Lyon, now the brother Glenn, got it away. Watmo. Fend and fend again from Watmo.
What a shot!
8 metres out from the line. Settle Gus. Now Ballon, and it goes for King. And Jason will play the ball. Back for Matt Ballon. Manly's throwing it at them now. Brett Stewart, Jamie Lyon, in and away. Out the back for David Williams, driving and pulled down. 2 metres from the line. Lyon, Brett Stewart, running it at the Englishman. And Graham slithers down around the legs. Ballon again, for it. Little kick into the end goal will go dead. Well, what a passage of play.
Watch the missile come out of left field here. The ball filters back in field. There's the shot and bang. Glenn Stewart blindsides him. Crack. Get that, India. We've got the ball back. That's a beauty.
You know it's a good shot when both feet leave the ground.
How good was that, Rabbits? Yeah!
Hang on, we got a problem here for Steve Turner, I think. Is it Turner?
What for?
I'm not prepared to say at the moment.
I'll get the other way.
I'm not
Or
quite
is it
sure who it
Hallertau?
is.
Might be Hallertau, is it?
He's clutching at his knee. I'm getting told that it is Steve Turner. No, it's not Hallertau. I've got him in the binoculars. It's Steve Turner.
Yeah, he grimaced straight away and grabbed the knee. He knew he was in trouble as he tried to, in a sneaky way down the short side. Knee got compressed there and dug into the turf.
He's had he's continuing to have, or was continuing to have, a very big week. We'll take a break and come back and check his health in just a moment. And as you come back, Steve Turner's helped to his feet, and they're going to have to bring him off, I think. And David Stagg, who's just come off, has taken the interchange number and is about to go on. So it's not pretty what I'm seeing here for Steve Turner, but I must say he's been thrilling to watch in the last 2 games I've been watching him play, along with you people that watch our league. Stagg has gone back on. He's an absolute stayer. It won't worry him going back into battle that quickly. And Turner comes off.
It looked rather innocuous, didn't it? Yeah. It just his leg obviously dug into the ground at the wrong way. He's a penalty to the Bulldogs.
Hey.
Looks like it's against Jason King.
Me?
I've been meaning to ask.
Let's just think about who's here in
No,
this, boys.
it's for stealing the ball.
It's all right.
I've been meaning to ask it. Gus, you asked the question, why didn't they let the advantage apply after that crooked play the ball of Joe Nullivale? Did we ever work out why?
Well, the technical reason is because Nullivale infringed by playing the ball sideways. That's the immediate penalty. But my thought is, well, if it was caused by a Bulldog, which is the way the referee ended up ruling, then why not this play go on? Because Manly looked like an opportunity there.
It seemed like common sense, and here's Pritchard now.
We had all half time together. Why didn't you bring it up then? Why are you thinking of that now?
We had some audio problems, that's it. Here's Eastwood spinning it away. Reynolds on, Stagg with it, Hallertau through right now. And Jonathan goes back away from the sideline that he was flirting with. Plays the ball. Ennis, dummies left, goes right. Oh, Stagg! Peeling off a big shoulder, Stephen Matai. Now Graham, on to Eastwood. Short ball, Cassiano! Goodness gracious, he gave them nearly a new exit from the stadium. Here's Keating. Up they go! Canterbury have got it. Brilliant defence, Manly.
David Williams has cartwheeled Bryson Goodwin here in a try-saving tackle.
My God, we're seeing some brilliant stuff here. Some bruising stuff and some brilliant stuff. That's the bruising, now the brilliance. David Williams, oh, he's absolutely put him on the Ferris wheel, hasn't he? Some good one.
His teammate got 10 weeks for that. Not long ago, flipping a bloke over like that. And we're calling it brilliant. It's a funny game. It's a funny game.
Early in that attacking raid, when they came to the right, you saw in the absence of Steve Turner, Dean Hallertau go to right centre, pushing Jonathan Wright onto the wing. Hallertau started off the right. Opening up centre the West Tigers as Watmo goes sideways.
How did they stop Cassiano? That's got me beaten. Coming at them like a steamroller. Somebody got him. I didn't have a chance to give him a rap. I'd like to know. Wright has got the ball. Imagine standing in front of a big steamroller coming at you at a fair bit of speed, and you've only got half a metre to work in to stop it.
I'm still laughing at the hit from Steve Maddai. When you're coming down that right-hand touchline against Manly, you know there's a possibility that he could be lurking at any time.
Oh, yeah.
And he just nailed his opponent there.
Cassiano with the ball now. Graham. He's like the human version of Jaws, isn't he? Stay away from the right side. This kick. Brett Stewart from his goal mouth. Tidied up by Reynolds and Stagg. Williams. Here is Tafua. Strongly built. And here's Buehrer. So Jamie Buehrer will play the ball on halfway. Sunday we will televise Parramatta at home to West Tigers. Here's Brent Kite, got away from Cassiano, gave it back to King, gave it on to Cherry Evans. He does a little bit of a zigzag, and Pritchard has got him now and bear hugged him down. Come to the ground with me. Here's Jamie Lyons, stabbing a kick into the corner. Nicely covered by Barber. Barber will play the ball on the 20-metre line. Goodwin. Jonathan Wright. Former Parramatta player, and he's not let Canterbury down for 1 second of his career in the blue and white jumper. Michael Ennis losing his footing, and the referee has ruled a knock on, so Manly come in from all over the place with congratulations. Yes, the Eels and the Tigers, as we watch Michael trying to get up and offload, losing the ball. Chris Sando dropped to play New South Wales Cup. Maybe. 4 o'clock Sunday, Parramatta versus West Tigers.
Well, that'll put Wentworth all over the salary cap, won't it?
And I still get excited going to watch a game that features Benji Marshall on one side and Jared Hayne on the other.
Wow. Cherry Evans.
Frank Pritchard has just ragged on Cherry Evans as well. Under his slow up as Brent Kite gets tackled centre field.
This is a very tough game of football. I don't know that there's anything other than tough to describe this game, but this is a bruising game of football. King.
Well, both Manly and the Bulldogs are great haters. They both play well when they hate. And I think there's a little bit of hatred out there.
Brett Stewart, he got away from Hallertau, who came out off the wing very, very quickly. Here's Foran, and Foran, no, he got shouldered by young Reynolds. Ball goes to ground, loose on the ground, went backwards. Matai, Cherry Evans, he puts a kick up. It's a nice kick, but there's no pressure. And Goodwin will sprint back to the 20-metre line.
Well, we're coming back to the middle of the 20-metre line.
Bring it back on the mark.
Tap not taken there.
On the mark.
And they got that all wrong the last play for Manly. Liam Foran coming down the short side on the last tackle. Had some good fortune to be able to flick it out the back by the time it found its way to Bailey Cherry Evans. Pretty much missed the boat. Not a great kick from the number 7 as well.
Stagg. Tidied up by Foran and Matai. This is Hallertau, met by Ballard and Watmo. 27 away from their own line, Canterbury. Graham taken by King and Kite got one in the jaw, I think, from Jason King. So Canterbury, here's Morris. He's on his way. He can get past the fullback, but he can't. Stewart did well to stop him. Played by Josh Morris. Keating to Pritchard. Pritchard to Keating. Keating across the back to Eastwood. Eastwood rolling it up.
When Morris got the break, Ben Barber was to his left. He was calling for the kick, but he couldn't get it in.
Ennis. Reynolds kicking. Right will go high, but Tafua good that time.
All the way back.
In the middle.
All the way back.
That's fine.
That's what I'm saying, man.
And he takes it out to the 30-metre line for good measure.
Great contest. It's a superb game of footy. Only the 2 tries, but gee whiz, you've got to admire the physical contact here.
Burat, Canterbury, Trent Hodkinson. I'm just trying to think of who else they haven't got in this team that they could have in the team. Ball is rolling down and I've got a feeling it's gone in touch in goal.
The only other disruption they've had apart from the injury to Trent Hodkinson is the suspension.
Yeah, you're right, Pete. I don't know that at this stage of the season they've got any worries at all, apart from Trent Hodkinson, who's due back in round 11, I'm told.
Are my eyes going? What's wrong with the corner post tonight? Why do they look so different? The corner post, they look wobbly.
They're camouflage.
This looks weird.
Cassiano, he trampled over the top of Steve Matai, and now he's been interrupted by Brent Kite. Plays the ball eventually. Ennis knows the markers had their back turned. Stewart hammers him eventually. Eastwood is saying to the referee, did you see that? Check it. Now Reynolds, now Stagg, now Hallertau, and Matai recovers quickly enough to make the tackle. Keating snaps a kick away over the head of the winger, Tafua, and there's one of those corner posts close up. I'll get an answer to Gus's question in a moment. 6-4 as we break. Scrum won by Manly. Go back to those corner posts when I get a chance. It's as trivial as you can get, but Gus, I think, is suggesting they look like a Rubik's Cube type thing.
Well, they do from a distance.
Yeah.
They look funny, don't they?
Here's Bureau.
Doesn't come up funny on the TV.
I think I know why you've attracted my attention to the corner post. I'll come back to that in a minute. Watmo down for Cherry Evans, halfway line. Glenn Stewart, flat pass, and it's kicked by Lyon. Down it goes inside 20. Nice rolling ball for Barber. Barber gets rid of Williams and comes to Jamie Lyon, turns him around, goes past him, slithers along the sideline, gets up, goes again. Eventually Brett Stewart's got him, so one tackle's one. You don't see that very often. He's a slippery little fellow, this Ben. Now, Big Frank. 6-4, the Eagles. In one of the toughest games we've seen, certainly this year. That's Reynolds under there. Taken by King and Buren. Now Graham. And he just put a little step on. He left Anthony Watmough grabbing at nothing. And here is Ennis, and Foran, he got rid of him, but Watmough came up and made the tackle. They only had one marker. Watmough had to eventually come up from the 10-metre line to make the tackle. And now Keating sends it high down to David Williams. Now there's a push in the back from a Canterbury player on a Manly player. It's a penalty to Manly. Penalty to Manly. Ruled by Shane Hayne. Jamie Lyon got a push in the back.
Yeah, well, it wasn't necessary because Williams came up with the fumble. Let's have a look. Ball's gone back deep. I think they're onside. So obviously the penalty's the push in the back. But Williams makes a meal of it. He drops it. Had Lyon not got pushed in the back, the Bulldogs could have come up with possession.
I'm wondering when Jamie Lyon got pushed in the back, did he actually contact Williams in any shape or form and actually disturb his taking of the football?
No, he was.
Anyway, you can't push a bloke in the back. It's that simple. It might be innocuous and all that, but you can't push a player not in possession in the back. This is Morrow. 6-4. Manly over Canterbury. Now Brett Stewart. He sees some space. Brett Stewart inside 20. Throws the dummy. Throws the football. It's on the ground for Canterbury.
Oh, yeah. Forget about what happened at the end. Brett Stewart just showed some real pace there, unlike what I've seen from him in a couple of years.
It's a try-saver from David Stagg as well. He stays with him, and Stewart trying to find his wing out on the outside to Fua. Only found Michael Ennis diving on it.
Now through Pritchard. It's out on the 20-metre line with Josh Morris. David Williams off the field. Been contending with this corpse quadricep, I think it is. Now a little kick through by Reynolds, who'll kick it again. And the ball goes down inside the 20. The race is on. And going over there, Tafua cleans up. And Tafua is met by a two-man Canterbury tackle.
He was lucky to get that in the end, George Tafua. He kept looking at his fullback to see if he had it covered, and only just got it in front of a rushing Josh Reynolds. It was heady play from the 5'8" that nearly worked.
Morrow, Maddie, on his 40-metre line now. Eastwood and Graham doing the job. Now Ballin sweeps it back in for Kite, who I don't think he knew he was going to get it. Just on his side of halfway. 63 minutes of the game gone. And Morrow again, that's good defence. Graham and Eastwood.
Might be just that kind of inspiration, spontaneity there from Reynolds wins this game for someone as Ali Cherry Evans drives it torpedo style down to the try line.
Goodwin bringing it back. And he runs into a shoulder from Foran. And then a tackle from Ballin.
Yeah, just in the last couple of minutes, Manly have started to steady and slow a little bit, and the Bulldogs have got a little bit of a surge going. So possession here in the next 4 or 5 minutes is going to be crucial. There's only 16 minutes left. This second half has gone so fast, I don't want it to end.
Graham. He's right on the 30-metre line. They come down the middle corridor with Tolman, his second session. Scoreboard reminds me of some of those scoreboards in the middle 80s.
40-20.
That's a beautiful kick. It's a beautiful kick.
Was that Reynolds?
Yep.
He's been the best player on the field. He has been the best player on the field all night. Look at that. Beautiful. And with a little bit of a side spin, gets it across. And watch the passion here from this young kid. This is a footballer. He loves it. Get down here. Come on. We'll get these blokes. Come on. Get down here.
You wouldn't be going not to, would you?
Get down here. Come on. We've got them.
That's a bit of spontaneity and inventiveness that I was talking about. And
exactly.
But that's what you want. You want a player in your team that turns around to the others and says, come on, we'll win this. That's what you're looking for.
Here it comes.
He's been the best on the field, Rabbits.
How would you like to live with him?
Who, Gus or Josh?
No, Gus, not Reynolds. Gus.
Oh, that fires him.
Come on, get down here, get here. Here's Hasler with the ball now.
God, you enjoy your work.
You're more exuberant than Reynolds. Here's Ennis now, and they were looking for Big Frankie. And it's gone off him. It'll be a scrum restart, or it'll be a turnover. I'm not sure what tackle it was.
No, it was early in the tackle count. That was a problem. It's a big opportunity missed. Michael Ennis trying to pick up Frank Pritchard as he goes across field. There's a little bit of a gap there, and that's the one-on-one I was talking about with Daly Cherry Evans. Trying to get that, and just quite, to be honest, Ray, I'd rather stay living with my wife and daughter if you don't mind. I don't think really it's a contest.
Okay, you've got the choice of two. You've knocked them both back. Fair enough. Young Jack will be home. Jack Gould will be home there. So he's like that at home. He's like that. Get down here with the lawnmower. Get down here. Here's Bureau. 22 out from his own line. King. Oh, he swings him with a big shoulder. Might have been below the belt. I don't know whether he's wearing a protector or not, but it looked dubious to me.
He's come straight off.
Can you be penalised for a low tackle? No, I'm only exaggerating. But seeing that I'm doing that, I'm only joining the party. And there he is, Jason. The co-captain, the co-pilot. Now it goes over to Jamie Lyon, the other pilot. Oh my God, you can read some stuff into the football game. Love it. Energy. Andrew.
Yeah, David Williams, he's come to that cork thigh. He's gone for the game. And he was replaced by Vic Morrow, so there's a reshuffle. Vic Morrow's gone into the pack. And Jamie Bureau, he's gone to right centre with Jamie Lyon pushing out to the right wing.
All right. Now, David Williams, as described by Andrew, he's gone. 24,743. The voices you fell in love with go head-to-head in the most amazing performances. The battle rounds are here at the earlier time Monday, 7:30, and continues Tuesday on 9. That's the voice. Hasn't it grabbed Australia by the throat?
Best show of its type I've ever seen. It's absolutely outstanding.
It's a massive rap coming from you.
The celebrities are outstanding. The contestants, brilliant. Oh, it's a great show.
That's a hell of a rap from you. The last show I heard your rap was number 96. Here's Barber.
Right away, you gotta let him go.
Come back, I'm waiting.
Hallertau. Short for Stagg. Behind Graham. Well, Keating did well. Keating. He stuck it in his pocket and took off. He played the ball 38 away. Tolman, a dummy half. Ennis drops a kick down in behind Jamie Lyon. It's in the in goal, and he'll have to do something. I don't know that he's done it quickly enough.
No, he hasn't.
And Goodwin has snuck up like a thief in the night and scored for the Dogs.
He cannot believe it, Jamie Lyon. If there is one player out there that you would expect not to come up with this type of play, it is Jamie Lyon. He's cool, he's great under pressure, but he just gets it all wrong here. The chasers are onside, 2 on the outside of Josh Reynolds' kick. He's got time, and in the end he runs out as Goodwin. That's a try. Oh,
well,
no,
his foot's on the line.
There's a foot on the line.
No. I think he's muffed this.
He's muffed it. He's muffed
Watch
it.
this. There's no downward pressure here that I can see.
Not there.
Bounces up off the chest onto the ground. Forward.
Out.
There's the foot.
Foot's on the line.
Oh, Jamie
Foot's
Lyon.
on the line. They've been saved here, the Sea Eagles.
He'll be buying a lottery ticket, Jamie.
It's your shout, Jamie.
They'll need a look from the other end to have a look at it. But I think he's muffed it the first time, and by the time his torso grounds it, his foot is on the line. You can't give it.
I think it's the foot more so than... Well, does he get it with the fingers to make a knock on of it?
No.
Because they could have said if he missed it with the hands, he could force with the torso, but his foot has gone in touch in goal.
Yeah. Well, his knees actually hit the line before his foot got round there. So if you think the foot's a danger, let me tell you, his knee from the other angle hit the chalk about now.
You can't give benefit of the doubt there. It has to go to the defensive side.
No, he's missed it.
Yeah.
He's missed it. No try.
Who have we got up there tonight? Phil Cooley.
No try.
Hasn't touched the ground yet. No, it's no try.
No try.
Well, the amazing thing about all of this is that Mr. Cool, Jamie Lyon, he's got off the hook.
Wow.
As I said, Jamie, it is your shout.
Well, Jamie was actually apologising to his teammates. He was saying, sorry, boys, sorry, boys, sorry, boys. Wow. He's dodged a bullet there.
Can you believe that? From Jamie Lyon. Fortunately, though, he's walked free. If you follow Manly. Rhodes. Ballon. Tolman and Graham. That's better, boys. Hunters a pair. Now, Cherry Evans. Taken by Tolman. On the 40-metre line. Friday night football on 9. You're watching two of the best in the comp. And this is Foran, deputising for his young bra. Played then by Liam. Into Daly, Cherry Evans. High. Down to Barber in goal.
Whoops, look out, look out, look out.
Watch out.
What?
You got away, mate. He's still offside. Wait there.
There you go, players in front of him. Bulldogs players hadn't retired behind the line. Gee whiz, they had to be more alert than that. They could see their sharpshooter racing up for the quick tap.
Take a look at it.
And Bulldogs players, look at this, they're trying to get back.
It was close. It was Josh Reynolds, half a step.
Wow.
Shane Hayne was operating as pocket referee. He was the one that called it. That's Tolman.
There's only 10 to go. You don't want this to end, do you?
Graham. Right on the halfway line. Canterbury trailing by 2. Barber for Keating. He drops it between winger and fullback, and Tafua looks at it, decides to go, and go he does! Ankle tap by Reynolds. He's making a perfection of that.
Well, he was gone, Tafua, and Reynolds again gets a hand on the back heel to bring him to the ground.
Matai.
That's extraordinary. What's that? Got him again. On the back heel.
The back heel clip. Reynolds has done it now at least 3 times in the game. Oh, George Rose getting a short ball from Brent Kite. And George will play the ball. Played back for Ballon. Ballon to Cherry Evans. Cherry Evans, Morrow. Morrow, Ballon. Ballon across. Back for Watmo. Watmo running away from the 40-metre line. Tolman closed the gap. Cherry Evans from dummy half puts a little kick in. It might go dead, it will. 20-metre restart. Now let's have a look and see if they get onside nice and quickly this time.
He had an opportunity to do better with that, Matt Ballon. Cherry Evans.
Yeah, Steve Matai was way offside there, and they called him out. If he'd have got involved, it would have been a penalty for the Dogs, and that would have been an easy out.
Joe Nullival waiting to come into the game. James Graham. 10 away from halfway. His own side. Tolman, Pritchard looking for Morris, turning it in, finding Barber, and call back. Call back.
You reckon you would have made it?
Come here, fearless Manly.
We'll take a break and come back. Back at ANZ Stadium and Friday night football drawing to its close, the first game. And Manly leading by 2. 6-4 the scoreboard in favour of the defending premiers. Cherry Evans, show, and then go. And Pritchard is there to make the tackle together with Graham. 22 away from the line. Here is Foran. Out it goes to Watmo. He pushes away, but David Stagg is not going anywhere. Play by Watmo back, and it's with Cherry Evans, a floater. Out to Glenn Stewart. Does the same. Lollipops it over the top. Burer pokes his nose through. He'll play it 7 out from the line. This is the last. Cherry Evans will kick. He does that neatly. Up they go, the Dogs. Here's a try for Manly for Watmo. Can he get it over the line?
Short.
No, he's short.
What about that? It was like it was in slow motion. All the action happened. The ball comes down. Watmo's just got to pick it up, and he can't get his hands around it in time to lunge at the line. Time stopped, and there's blue and white jerseys there to stop the try. This has been enormous, absolutely enormous from both sides. The first infringement is a knock-on against the Bulldogs, so it'll be a line dropout.
Barber, it's not that long. It's gone 40, and Brett Stewart gives it to Rose to take it back. George Rose, 28 away from the line on 1. Ballon to Morrow. Morrow inside 20, 19 out on 2. Ballon on, 4 and with it, back. Watmo puts it on the ground, no man's land. Tufua's got the ball, runs away from his sideline, and Tufua's up to the 10-metre line on 3. Ballon again. Now for Nullarbor, charging at the line. Joe is over the line, but he's forced back on 4. Ballon long to Cherry Evans. Drops it onto George Rose's belly button, really. He flopped it back. Maddai had scored. Game, set, and match. Manly.
Gorgeous George. Big, bad, gorgeous George. Comes back with a right foot step. Stands like a colossus and puts it on a platter for Steve Maddai to get the match winner. Big, gorgeous George.
He did very well, Steve Maddai. You can see he comes from his centre position to get in behind the big man and was there to take advantage of the off-butt load, a little bit like Michael Wayman on to Ben Cray on Wednesday to win the match. But he travelled inland, Steve Maddai, and it paid dividends for him. I'm sure they scored the first try after a restart from under the post, and they've done it again. They are so valuable getting restarts with the line dropouts.
I think George put a right foot sidestep together there.
Oh, he did, mate. He put a twinkle into his work, don't worry. Twinkle toes, gorgeous George.
Do it again, go on.
He gave him a little bit of a right foot step and then a parry, and yes, sir, saluting there to the crowd. They love him. That jersey was made for George.
Why haven't you picked me until round 8, he's saying. Look at this. Look at, there it is.
Little right foot step.
Yep.
The shimmy, the shimmy. There you go, brother. Over you go. And home we go.
One of the true characters of the game. And the boys have talked about the camouflage shirt that's really been made for George exclusively. Big night for him. A big night. Jamie Lyon. He converts the try. Manly 12. Canterbury 4. Andrew Johns.
He's had a stormer tonight, George. Have a look at him. He's happy with that. Big game, 15 hit-ups. He's really provided some great go forward. And have a look at his agility for a big man. Look at this, standing still on the Kuno replay. Big right foot step, power over forward, and then great sleight of hand with the offload for the match winner. Well done, Georgie.
Here's Tafua. He started the game shakily, George Tafua, but he's done some wonderful things late. The second half, in fact, he's had an unblemished second half. Good work to him, because he had to meet his critics earlier in the night.
We saw a game lost from here on Wednesday with a short kick-off in the dying 4 or 5 minutes. The Bulldogs have got this one back. They're not going to lay down.
Keating drops it over to Wall. Goodwin's coming through. Goodwin had scored for Canterbury.
Oh, here we go.
Goodwin had scored for Canterbury.
Look out.
He was pursued by Jamie Lyon, but he's out-sprinted him.
Look out.
Well, they almost scored in the first half with a cross kick for the winger. Chris Keating gets this one perfect. In behind Jamie Lyon. Bryson Goodwin, no problems regathering that one. It's about the second time they've been down this end in this second half. The first was when Josh Reynolds came up with a 40-20. They surrendered possession mid-tackle count. And now they've made a count, and all the Canterbury fans who were leaving after the Maddie try have turned around, heading back to their seats.
The kick is there from the try scorer. 12-10.
Well, it couldn't happen again, could it? The Dragons pulled out 2 tries in the last 4 minutes on Wednesday to chase down an 8-point deficit, getting the ball back from a short kickoff. A beautiful little kick from Keating into the corner. Goodwin gets the try, gets the goal. We're back to a 2-point game, and the Bulldogs have got the wind in their sails.
He looked a bit like his dad there, didn't he, Bryson? He was snooky down, hugging the sideline. You didn't see him until late. Jamie Lyon didn't know he was way out there.
I tell you what, I didn't know is they're camouflaged up against the signage behind them. The Dogs, but Goodwin was out in front. Out in front he was, in front of Jamie Lyon, who's had a bit of a nightmare come upon him in the last couple of minutes or so, playing out on the flank. Here's Graham.
Minute and a half to go. That's tackle 2.
And Joel Romello out there for the Dogs, only coming on for the last 3 minutes as Pritchard finds Tolman.
Oh, that could be forward. It could be.
Oh,
it's been dropped anyway. So they'll call it back, and that should get Manly home. I said it should get Manly home, but it's 2012.
Yeah, I think they wanted the pass to go, this last pass to go out the back. Tolman, I'm sure Cassiano wasn't expecting that. In the end, he grabbed it and lost it. Yep. But you would think with a minute left on the clock, the Sea Eagles will grind out the time here.
He was trying to offload there to Joel Romello, who was coming off his shoulder, and he just couldn't deliver it.
Yeah, you're right.
What a year it's been. It started on night 1. Newcastle and St George Illawarra. West Tigers thought they had South Sydney beaten. South Sydney thought they had the Roosters beaten. The Roosters thought they had St George Illawarra beaten. It is that type of year. These grandstand finishes. This is Bura. But Manly, the water is shallower up this end of the beach. Nullivar.
They've been up here the whole second half, Manly. They've dominated field position.
I can't wait for September. These are 2 that we almost certainly will see. And you know who to throw in the mix after that, and there's going to be some wonderful contest at the back end of this year. 5 gone for Manly. There it is with Cherry Evans. Shaped a kick, took the tackle, and he's ordered changeover. So they've got about 10 seconds.
Just wait now. Just wait. Just wait.
10 seconds to go 90 metres.
It's now 8.
You'd have to be Usain Bolt. Romelo. He puts a kick down. Tafua will let it go. That is the ball game. Manly have won a bruising encounter by 12 points to 10. Absorbing, enthralling, entertaining. Spectacular.
Thank you.
All of the words. Probably still failed to describe how tough this game was tonight at Rugby League headquarters. Geoff Toovey, well, the match was billed as Des versus Geoff, and Geoff gets the prize.
And he's got the smile on the face. Good, tough win. Been a tough few weeks for them. They're getting back to full strength. The game didn't start well. They dropped the kickoff. And they were probably a touch fortunate to only be behind 4-2 at half-time, and that put them in good stead for the second 40. And they played at the right end of the field. Took their opportunities a little bit better than the opposition. And in the end, the 2-point margin that existed at half-time still exists at full-time.
So Geoff Toovey and Manly have got the bragging rights for the time being. Next, the $1,000 clean-up with Keno, man of the match, and then off to Suncorp Stadium as they play host to another big matchup. You're watching Friday Night Football on Nine's Wide World of Sports.